So let's talk about Texas Democrat Representative Jasmine Crockett, the self-branded rising star of the left, who's making headlines for all of the wrong reasons. From accusations of being more Instagram influencer than lawmaker, to staff describing her as a no-show boss from hell. Let's get into it. Welcome to Nelly Miranda. First, let's start with what her own former aides are saying. Multiple ex-staffers have blown the whistle, claiming Crockett is far more interested in building her social media brand than serving her district. Take a look at this clip from Fox News.
Texas is also getting, Democrats in Texas are getting a little bit of attention because of their rising Democrat star, Jasmine Crockett. Turns out she may be a toxic boss, according to the New York Post. Here's the headline. Trump critic Rep. Jasmine Crockett is a no-show boss from hell who terrorizes staff. Aides say, all diva, no wow. They don't like their boss. She is lying around her apartment, won't come into the office, and is just really indifferent to staff and will scream at them. She is never in the office and is very disengaged. She does her BS that goes viral and then freaks out over the most random things.
I mean, who's surprised? I mean, this is my favorite Congresswoman. I enjoy her because I think if you promote someone like this, then you can just kiss the national election goodbye. And honestly, I don't think this was like a secret. She kind of does act this way publicly as well. And she's really not effective as well. What piece of legislation can you say she has been successful on? What piece of legislation has she changed the country on?
Well, unfortunately, fame is a very powerful drug, and clearly it has gotten to her head. I interviewed Congressman Chairman James Comer, and I asked him about her because she's on the Oversight Committee. And he said when she first came to Congress, totally different person than she is today. It's like night and day. And then we saw that in do you remember the Atlantic profile piece? Mm-hmm. She said she was shutting down the profile and revoking all permissions like you have the authority to do so. Because the Atlantic reporter had the audacity to ask other Democrats about her. And then apparently her lock screen is like a photo of herself.
The Escalade. She asked the staff to use the Escalade. They have to rent an Escalade to come pick her up. Now, normally, the members let their, interns as well as their schedulers just use their personal car, and they can come pick her up. But she requires them to go rent the Escalade just to drive, and they have to be waiting outside of the Escalade with the door open.
So they describe her skipping legislative work, staying in her plush D.C. apartment, and screaming at staff over the phone while demanding chauffeured rides and rented Escalades. Former staffers paint a picture of a boss who is rarely present, and when she is, she's abusive. One aide said she terrorizes staff and has the fastest turnover rate that they've ever seen. One fired aide said Crockett only cares about optics, not actually helping the people that she claims to represent. And here's the kicker. This isn't just bad workplace etiquette. This is hypocrisy, because if you run on empowerment, but your leadership style is instability and humiliation, you're not uplifting anyone. You're stepping on them for your own spotlight. Leadership should be about accountability, respect, and results, and none of those require a glam squad or a viral tweet. She is clearly in over her head. Like, she could never have me as a staffer because I match energy. You scream at me and I will tell you about yourself in the nicest way possible. But the bigger issue is serving in Congress is not a part-time gig. It's about showing up, reading the bills, working the committees, and dare I say, actually representing your constituents. Because if you're too busy building a personal brand to do the job that taxpayers are paying for, then maybe influencer life is a better fit. But Congress is supposed to be the people's house, not your own personal content studio. Anywho, this was her response to being called a diva and a mean boss. Take a listen.
Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett is laughing off claims that she is a diva boss who terrorizes staffers.
Are you a no-show boss from hell who terrorizes staffers?
Oh, my goodness. Listen, I know that I have arrived, honey. That is the way that I see this, because as Beyonce says, if they're not talking about you, then obviously you must not be doing anything.
Joe, I was kind of terrorized by her response.
Well said, Ashley. Good to see you back, by the way. You're looking great. Good to see you. Look, Jasmine Crockett is exactly the very essence of what so many Americans loathe about Washington, D.C. and their politicians. She exists solely to promote herself. Instead of being an elected official who seeks to solve issues her constituents actually elected her to work on. Without social media, I think Jasmine Crockett would cease to exist in her current capacity. But if you support President Trump, if you support Republicans in general, at least, conservatives or whatever, you want her speaking as much as possible, because with her being out there, that's a good thing, because she's this caricature of herself and a performance artist, and a cheesy one at that does videos like the ones you're seeing on your screen. And again, this is not somebody who's serious about anything except promoting herself, Carly.
She said she's arrived, honey. Oh, my heavens. She sounded like she was in her living room talking to her friends. And then she related to herself to Beyonce? No, I just can't, because I don't feel like she takes her role serious enough. She is either a problem for the Democratic Party or the future of it.
So I was wondering how you feel about where she stands right now. Is she a problem for the Democratic Party? Is she the future of it? Let's talk about right now, because she could get redistricted out of her congressional seat. But how would you describe her?
I would describe her as somebody who, when she does, to your point, Carly, as far as she could be redistricted out of her seat, where she would actually have to earn votes from those who are independent or Republican, she probably will lose her seat in Texas. And then, if you ever found somebody who was perfect for The View, you're looking at her right now on your screen. Like, she would be great on that show, and then she could do all the performance arts that she wants, and not have to actually worry about solving the problems for the people of Texas, the people she's supposed to actually represent.
So in other words, we have enough spectacle in Washington. And what we don't have enough of is workhorses, people willing to grind it out behind the scenes and get the bills passed, serve their constituents without chasing Instagram likes. So what do you think? Is Crockett just the latest example of style over substance in Congress, or is the media just being unfair to her? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But before I let you go, I have to let you know that if you've been feeling like this summer is stickier than usual, you are not imagining it. It's official. More than 70 million Americans east of the Rockies just lived through the muggiest June and July on record. And it's not just about comfort. This humidity has real health and economic consequences. When the air is wet and your body cannot cool down by sweating, and even worse, the heat doesn't even go away at night. There have been record high overnight lows in places from Ohio Valley to the Mid-Atlantic. Midwest agriculture, especially corn, releases water vapor in a process nicknamed corn sweat. So when you've got over 95 million acres of corn, that adds up to a lot of extra humidity. But aside from that, it's just been muggy. No sun, just uncomfortable heat. What has it been like where you live, and have you noticed more muggy nights than usual? Let me know in the comments, and as always, if honest commentary brings you value, please make sure you like and subscribe, as it really helps support the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.